Hi everybody, welcome to Source Inspired Speaking. I'm Nathan. Today Spirit's got a great reminder message that you can become anything you desire, that you're not trapped in this small version of yourself, that anything that you see, that you dream of for yourself can become your reality. But it will take some discomfort because you have to expand beyond who you are now. So please sit back, remove yourself from any distractions. Listen to these words. I'll check back in with you after the message. Hello. Thank you for joining us here today. We would like to ask you a simple question. Do you ever wonder what aspects of self exist just beyond your perception? Do you ever wonder what experiences might be created if you took a different path? You see, we have said many times that you are an aspect of Creator, that you are not separate from God and the divine, that you are here to express and create and move infinity in ways it has never moved before. And because you are an aspect of God, you have infinite potential. That means the part that you are exploring of yourself is very small. It's minuscule compared to what you can become. It's not that it's bad or that you're making wrong choices. It's just that for many of you, you are living in a very safe box. You've created a concept of who you are, and then you don't deviate too far from that. But we ask if you ever wonder what it would be like to become either a much more expanded version of the self that you know, or to become almost a different person entirely. Because you have that ability. You see, through your focus, you are moving the energy that has created the universe, that is not separate from you. So often, because many create from a place of observing the outside to determine their role of what they should be creating, that it's a very small aspect of self that you create. And yet, you have the potential to create something much more expansive. You have the potential to be someone much different if that's what you desire. Because anything you can think of can be achieved in some aspect. And we only say this to you, not, again, to make you feel like you are less than you should be, because you are a perfect expression of God as you are. Because you are here creating and experiencing. God is happy with that. But are you happy with it? And that is why we bring this to you, because we want you to understand that you have that infinite potential to express yourself in so many different ways. But what does it take? It takes choosing to be uncomfortable for a little bit. Because as you break down the barriers of who you've confined yourself to be, there will be discomfort. You will be forcing yourself to do things that are outside your level of comfort, your normal activities, your normal range of thought. But what happens is, as you repeat this, as you push yourself to repeat it over and over again, that new flow of energy becomes who you are. And so when you can think of something that is beyond your normal experience, it's because the desire to be there is part of your normal experience. So it's not that you are pushing beyond who you are. It's that desire is there, which is why you can receive it. Vibrationally, you are still a match for the desire. But many people are not a match for the outcome of that desire, the desired outcome. So what you need to do is you need to become a match for that desired outcome. And that means changing your focus, being uncomfortable. If there's something that you wish to achieve, something you wish to accomplish, maybe you should sit down and brainstorm how you perceive people that have achieved that. And then brainstorm how your perceptions could be wrong. And then brainstorm how you actually might be closer to those people than you realize. And then we would say brainstorm on how you can become a little bit closer to that experience. Because each time you take those steps, you immerse yourself in a vibration and you break down the barriers that you've created. Because you see, in your normal state, if there's something you wish to experience that you are not experiencing, you're receiving it because the desire is there. The desire is part of your experience. It's just the outcome that is not. So then, what is not out of reach is being able to look at someone else who has it and compare yourself to that person. And what you'll find is you will think that you are very different and that you are not capable of that. That is usually what prevents you from achieving that same goal. But then when you start to ask, how could my perceptions be off about this person? Do they have the same desire? Maybe if it's someone who's extremely athletic and you're not, and you think, wow, they're so disciplined, they get up, they do all this workout, they don't even want to eat the junk food, they just want to be healthy. Well, is that true? Because when you do that second step, once you've identified who you think the person is that achieves that, then you look at how your perceptions could be wrong. And yes, they still probably desire sugar and sweets. They probably don't want to get up every day to exercise. And then you start to see how you and that person might be the same, but how a few simple decisions, quick decisions, are really the difference between you and them, the difference between what you desire and what you wish to achieve. Sometimes it doesn't have to be a whole life overhaul, because once you make those few choices and you stick with them, you start to see yourself as becoming that person. That desire, that experience starts to become true to you. And you get immersed in the energy, and the energy starts to take over. And before you know it, you have transitioned to become a much more expanded version beyond the barriers that you had contained yourself in. So we present this to you only to remind you that if there's anything you are unhappy with and you have a desire to change, then you are already on the path, and it's just a few simple tools of breaking down the mental barriers that you've created. Because it's the mental barriers that prevent you from experiencing that vibration. Your mental barriers make you focus your energy within a small contained space. When you break those down, the energy can expand out. And so these are simple tools that we provide to you because we want you to not just be a creator, we want you to be a joyous creator. We want you to create that which you desire and not desire something that you feel you cannot create. You have the power to do this. You are that powerful being, that expression of God here to manifest all your desires and all that you wish to see come true. And now is the perfect time for this. And with so much in the world is already changing, it'll be easy for you to slip into a new version of yourself. Just take those steps if that is what you truly desire. We thank you for listening, and we love you always. So I think this message is really just to remind us to step outside our comfort zone, to realize that we have that infinite potential, and if we have a desire, that we can achieve it, but we have to allow ourselves to become that change. We have to shift our focus away from what you can't be, what you contained yourself as, that small version that you see of yourself, and realize that you are much more expansive. And when you can do that, when you can use those simple tools of, identifying your desire, then identifying an example of that desire coming true. Because if you can find an example, now you can relate to the manifestation of that desire. And then if you can relate to it, you can see first how your different will come up, because that is how our minds work. That's what is within our vibrational reach. But then just thinking about how we could be wrong, how maybe we've misinterpreted, how we've built up an image of what it takes to be that successful person. And then thinking about how you have some of those qualities already that you need to get there, and realizing that, it's probably only a few small changes to start that is what is needed. Choosing to get up and go walking every morning for a half hour, choosing to, skip a snack, or choosing to, if you want to become more educated, to read an extra 15 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day, to start slow, start within, start in a way that you won't be completely throwing away who you are, because that can be devastating to people. And usually it's not sustainable. But do a little bit at a time with the choice to expand upon it, and you become part of that energy flow. And then change comes easier for you. But anytime you're changing, there is going to be some level of discomfort, because you are pushing beyond your comfortable boundaries. You are exploring beyond the box that you've identified yourself as. So every time you step outside that, there's discomfort, because you are in some ways destroying the image of what you thought you were. Of course, we're much bigger than what we think we are, so that is what is needed to expand. So I hope this helps you. I hope this makes sense. If you like what you heard, please subscribe and hit the bell so you get notified of any upcoming messages. You can love that like button for me. It helps me out. And be what you desire. Just be what you desire. Some of you are already there. The video isn't to tell people they're not good enough and that they need to change. It's just to remind you that you can become the change that you desire. That's within your reach. Every single person. So go out there and become a joyous creator. Love your life, love your experience. Make yourself into the person that you always wish to be. Thank you all for joining. I love you. We'll see you next time. Bye.